Hi. So I'm making a stream on talking about Windows 11, right? I have said for 2 years ago, I think it's already 2 years ago, nearly 3 years. When would I did I make it? Wow, it been 3 years. It's just nearly 3 years. I said Windows 11 will be another epic failure, and they downvoted me, but the time has proven I'm correct. Right. The reason I know it's going to be crap is because I experienced the failure of Windows 8. I use a lot of Windows 8. Actually more than Windows 7 because I didn't have a computer, right? I was a teenager. I don't have a computer. I didn't use Windows 7 in that era. When I got my laptop, I just get Windows 8 working. So I experienced the entire lifespan of Windows 8, and I the lifespan of Windows 10. I can just experience a lot of differences between the Windows 8 era and Windows 10 era. Now, a lot of people I know a lot of people are gonna immediately say Windows 11 will be, you're just, I've tried it, it's so good, whatever. To be honest, I've heard that a lot back in Windows 8 era. In fact, I was thinking that way back in Windows 8 era. I think Windows 8 was probably not that bad, right? It has a lot of good features like OneDrive, whatever. It has, I think they did add built-in Windows Defender in Windows 8. But after I experienced the entire Windows 8 and tried Windows 10, I know exactly why Windows 8 is a failure. If you compare me to Windows 8, Vista, and Windows 11, I will tell you, I said before, Windows 11 is worse than Vista. It's worse than 8. If you compare the evil three, the Windows 8, Windows Vista 8, and 11 will be the worst. Second will be Vista. 8 is actually better than them, because 8 does have a lot of fancy ideas that should be explored. But what I want to say is that you've seen that it's just before, it just like these small channels that just people say Reddit, people like me to just running on Windows 11 since the beginning. I actually tried Windows 11 for a month because I was not because I don't want Windows 11 or anything, but just because I find this Explorer patcher, right? It can just patch me back to Windows 10. But this guy just saying Microsoft has blocked Windows, the Explorer patcher, which is insane. I used it for a month, but I find to restore Windows 10, but I find I cannot add any tiles to and add anything to the old start menu on Windows because it blocked it, right? If you add anything to Windows 11 start menu, which is I don't know how to use. So I add on Windows 10, so I cannot add anything to the Windows 10 start menu. It just makes me super annoying. My style is on Windows 11. So I just tried that for a month, and I said, okay, I cannot bear that shit. I cannot tolerate this shit anymore. I have to go back to Windows 10. Okay? I had to. Now I'm just going back to Windows 10 after months of failed experience. And here is not just me. I'm saying that even the mainstream media is saying that Microsoft should just accept it's time to give up on Windows 11 and throw everything on Windows 10. It's not my word. It's the mainstream media. Which means even the people who in power, like in Wall Street, all these people, they have power, they have money. They do believe, as I do, Windows 11 is a complete failure. I mean, just everyone who has an insane amount of intelligence, if you have a threshold of intelligence, Windows 11 sucks. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, we're just gonna keep this Windows 11, just keep upgrading it. It's gonna be fine somewhere because we say Windows 10." No, Windows. If you compare to the lifetime Windows 11 compared to Windows 10, Windows 10 grows much faster than Windows 11. Okay? They both have free upgrade. You cannot just say it's just because of free upgrade. Okay? So people just using Windows 10. They're not using Windows 11. Okay? There are more people, much more people using Windows 10, and it grows much faster than Windows 11. So Windows 11 is a complete failure. Right? It's a complete utter failure. And actually, if you look at Scan Counter, I think they mentioned it correct. Windows 11 actually drops its market share, right? You can see market share shrinks. It shrinks, that's insane. Because more and more, and it's not just shrinking for a small percentage, it's about 2%, That's huge, from 28 to 26. That's a huge number. Just in 2 months, your market share just reduced, but not just 2%. We should compare to 3.26.919 divided by 28.16. Then 1 minus. Wow, you lost 7% of user base. 7% of your user base of Windows 11 went back to Windows 10. That's a huge number, bro. That's not a small number. We've seen that happen during the Windows 8 era. We've seen that happen in Vista era. I've said that in day one that Windows 11 is going to be a failure. Right. Now, besides the reason I've talked about, I think I will need to add one major point here, which is something I recently acknowledged. It's about the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nedella. Okay. That guy, I don't know what to say, it's even worse than Ballmer. Now, I know people are going to say, hey, during Nadella's era, the Microsoft stock increased for 10 times, tenfold. Yeah. But how he achieved that tenfold? Everything he did just remove things. That's how he did. Anything is unprofitable, he just immediately cut it off, remove it. We've seen that just recently. I think we talked about something far away before. We're just talking about recently, I think, the Xbox layout. At the Xbox, they shut down the the Tango studio, right? The Hi-Fi Rush. I never played that game because a lot of people are saying it's a pretty good game. But they shut that off, right? And Xbox is dying. Right, Xbox. We know Xbox is have been long trend death for a very long time. I don't play, although I don't play any console games. I'm not that kind of audience, but I can totally understand what you're saying. Right? They're not just doing that. They're not doing to Surface. Surface is also a dying product. What else do they have? They don't have anything. They don't. If they go in on trend, I can guarantee you that people like Satya Nedella, he is going to completely just delete entire hardware. Microsoft will not produce any hardware anymore. Tell me, anything that in his era is a success. You can say it's a success. Now you might say, hey, now he's working on this fancy AI copilot thing, right? Whatever. Yes, it is useful, and I use it every day. I know everything about the copilot than you do, but based on his logic, we might see one day he just remove it. Just cut it off. It'd be another one. This one nobody is killing them. Google is not going to kill this. Microsoft may kill it themselves because they say, hey, this is not as profitable as I do. So that's everything that Satya Nedella is doing. He's doing shit. He's not doing anything. Right. And in fact, if you look at the recent stock of Microsoft, it underperforms the index fund. It underperforms the NASDAQ. Even the NASDAQ reaches all-time high. Microsoft stock is still underperforms. Right. You cannot just say Microsoft is doing good right now. People are very angry with the Windows 11. People are very angry with Xbox, particularly the people not in the business world. I don't know what the business world is thinking, but even I tried that. The Microsoft was the one who created HoloLens, right? The VR headset. But now everyone just jumped the ship to Oculus Quest 2, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna ship the Microsoft Mesh, that just VR Office into the Mesh." I think that's a great idea, right? We're gonna do our office job in the VR. I tried it. I was super disappointed because I cannot log in. I don't know what the developers of Microsoft is doing shit here. I cannot log in. They tell me that the VR is good, whatever. I cannot log in. Okay? There's no way I can log in. I don't know what's happening here. Okay? If you look at the Mesh store, the Microsoft Mesh store in Oculus store, right? In the Meta store, right? Meta App Store. It has a very low point. It's 1.0 low point, whatever. So it just doesn't work, right? It's not just I'm saying that. It's just a lot of people are saying that. You just see the marks. They're not working. So that's what Satya Nedella. He just destroys everything. He's not even serving the shareholders, right? I guess he's probably going to do is doing some buyback this in June. That's what I'm guessing. Doing a lot of buyback. It's probably because their stock is so underperformed. They have to do a lot of buyback and a lot of layoffs, right? Because their stock underperforms. I think that's why they closed the Tango and other 4 studios at whatever, I don't know, BB whatever, I don't know what company is. They just completely remove it. And Microsoft, they bought the Activision Blizzard. That's a huge mistake. That's also a huge mistake. It's not profitable. The shareholders are not happy. I don't. Quite funny is that Satya Nedella, he thinks buying things like Activision Blizzard is something to help him build his metaverse. Right, metaverse. But Microsoft is shit on metaverse. That's what Satya Nadella doing. He has some good idea. Maybe it's not even his idea, just someone else's idea. But he said, "I'm my idea, whatever." Let's just assume it's his idea. He completely killed it. Okay, kill that shit. The Microsoft Mesh. It's a complete disaster, It's a complete disaster, Microsoft on VR. They're doing shit on VR. They're doing shit on this Windows shit. Right. And also the point I want to make here is about, I want to talk about a very old thing too. I want to talk about, what? I forgot the Windows 11. Oh yeah, Windows 11, this one. S mode, right? S mode. S mode. Okay, S mode. So this is a complete bullshit. This guy is a complete bullshit. He removed my comment. That guy removed my comment. That's just ridiculous. You know what S mode is? It's just you cannot install anything beside the App Store. Well, that part itself is not bad enough. The bad enough part is that you cannot go back to S mode. They're saying we have a lockdown version of Windows like Apple and Android does. Okay, we don't like Microsoft Store is shit. Nobody uses it, but that's not the point. They said you cannot restore it. You just one-way ticket out. You cannot go back. They're not removing all the bloat. You cannot go back anymore, bro. This S mode thing is just ridiculous. I'm sorry to say that this mode is ridiculous. People are just so frustrated with the S mode. It's full version S mode. You cannot run. Of course, you cannot run executable. That's the point of S mode, right? Now, Microsoft can do much better than what S mode is. Let's look at this one. Okay. So S mode is, they said, for data security and performance. Okay. It's a very bad argument. Okay. Well, I'll go back to talk about this, but we'll just first read it. Windows 10 S, well, they have this S mode in Windows 10, but I think most people just see that in Windows 11 because it's a lot of shit in Windows 11. Okay, because they just expanded right now. Windows 11 in S mode is done for security and performance exclusive for running apps from Microsoft Store, which means you can only install apps from the Microsoft Store. Okay, very simple. So we have the store, you install it, and the store is just a stripped version of the store. It's not you can install all the apps from the store. It's just some apps that Microsoft think you can run. Okay. Say if you want to install, for example, Adobe Photoshop, you cannot run in S mode. Okay, that's how the point works. Okay, just like Android, you need to iOS, you need to install APK files. You cannot just directly run XML. They said it's just how they gonna S mode whatever. Doesn't matter. So the most frustrating part is this part. Switching out S mode is one way. If you make the switch, you can be able to go back to Windows 10, Windows 7. There's no chance to switch out of S mode. Then you need to use the Microsoft. Someone just tried. You can watch this video on how shit people hate about S mode. Okay, S mode is a disaster. The Windows 11 S mode is just a complete disaster. Okay. Everything, just get out of it. Just get out of it. Right. I'm just. Oh, sorry. Let's just watch the video. I think he explained it very well. I think using that video. I think I have a better video. That's how talking about Windows 10. They extend that concept from Windows 10. But I have some my own thoughts on Windows 10 on S mode, okay? Because I just recently watched this thing, and I suggest you to subscribe to this one. Just Judy Bruchel, right? He's completely correct. He's just doing a video, okay? Yeah, they have this one is clearly getting worse in Windows 11, right? This S mode thing, right? This S mode thing is ridiculous, to be honest. Right, this S mode thing is ridiculous. I think what Microsoft should do instead. I'm not suggesting for just removing the S mode because I do get the argument of saying, oh, it's for security, whatever. Despite it's not for me, right? They're probably saying we are considering the average user. right? I think this is a better solution. And it's a much better solution for Windows in general is to provide I have a login screen, right? With just 10, I think I can show you a login screen. Right. We have this login screen, okay? I'm going to show you here what is my thoughts on how to make this better. Okay, I use Paint. Okay, just put it here. Okay, here is our S mode. But not S mode. Here's our login screen of Windows 10 or Windows 11, whatever. What about Windows 11? Windows 11. They're not showing a graph. Okay, just this one. So we have account, Microsoft account icon, right? We have PIN, we have password icon. Then we have sign option, right? So to have sign option with these flags. I would suggest Microsoft to add another one. Okay, here's a box. I have a box here, okay. Oh, it's gray. It's not actually, let me see, we can try a color which is more similar. Okay, we paint it, right? We have another icon. It's not the same icon, it doesn't matter. So we have this icon being a switch on with right? POS. OS, okay? So we have this POS, okay? I can show another pane here. Whatever, doesn't matter. Oh, what the fuck is it? Oh, just saw another pane, okay? So we have these two one. We have this pay. We also have this S. Okay. We have this big S. P mode. Okay, we have a P and S. What the fuck? Sorry about that. I sucked at using tools like this. Should be P, right? Okay, we have a P and S. Okay, so we have this PS and S flag tower. Okay, so if I log in so instead of just saying making a separate version of it, you make it a switch mode at login screen. Okay, so you have P mode and S mode. S mode means you can only install apps from the App Store, and also so S means to VS Code, whatever. I hope I don't show something which is I shouldn't show. Okay, doesn't matter. So we have this. This is just really bad. You know, this VS Code shit just reopen my old tapes, which is extremely bad. Okay, doesn't matter. So we have this PS tower. So if I click, it becomes P. P means I'm a power user. S means I'm just a S mode user, right? Which is the Microsoft Store. So this one just only allow you to install apps from Microsoft Store, okay? This is just the normal version we are using, the normal Windows, but just the normal one we are using. That's a much better choice than Microsoft S mode shit, right? All the annoying shit just from trying to mix up, right? Also, this one is targeting mode touch, right? I mean, this will be a much better idea. Then they have separate profiles, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's my suggestion. What they should do instead. Okay. So give us S and P flag here when locking Windows. Okay, so they have different flags, separate flags. So anything I do as S mode doesn't affect my P mode. Just if I change my background, it doesn't affect the background in P mode. Okay. So then also S mode can just strip away a lot of features. Like it can avoid, it just making the UI more tiny, just avoid things like Explorer or whatever. And power just means normal version. We can running on desktop. Ledger was we can avoid things like that Explorer, right? So I think this is a much better choice than what Microsoft shared done. We know that they did that shit with Windows 8. They try to mix that. It doesn't really work. Windows 10 have the tablet mode. Still not good enough, right? Still not good enough. I would suggest Microsoft just do this. Just at login screen, I have this SP mode flag. Okay? So S mode can just targeting more about the touch device. People can just writing things for touch device, right? Just like a lot more lockdown, right? But you can still run P mode, right? And it can just make S mode super efficient by not loading a lot of things. It just can block them. I think this is much better choice than what Microsoft did here, right? Let's see whether I can run. Let me see whether anyone is watching the video. I think two live. Who is doing that? Nobody is. Anyone's watching? Nobody. So if they can do that, I mean, they have to do something, right? Because you might say, Microsoft should just give up on tablet market. Well, the problem here is that even you try to give up on tablet market, Google doesn't, right? Google have the Chromebook. They are eating your share. They're eating your lunch, right? That's an objective fact, right? They are taking it strip day by day with a tiny piece. But it's still a threat, right? We have this Windows on ARM thing. If we have this SP mode, Microsoft can, if we can make this success, this is a big successful, we might be able to see Windows Phone again. Windows on phone again. Because if we install this one, you just run in S mode, which is our phone. We can still run in P mode on phone, but it's just more slower. But I can run in just in S mode, right? So if I have SP mode and running on phone, I can just using it for tasking. If I want to program it, just switching to P mode. That will provide a much better experience for Windows users in general, not just tablet, also on desktop, on a tablet, because you have Surface. If Microsoft is gonna say, "Oh, we don't want Surface anymore, just want this one," I think about it. I think they have no philosophy behind it. They have no idea what they're doing. Right, that's what I'm thinking. But if they have some mentality here, they should do this. The thing I'm still mad about Satya Nedella is that he said killing WinPhone is a mistake. Which is no. Okay. So, but he also said, I voted no, Satya. He just said, in his book, he said he voted no. Okay, you voted no. I get it. But I don't get why the world need the third ecosystem in first, which is contradicting, because you said you don't get why the world needed the third ecosystem in France back in 2012. But now you're saying it's your most difficult, is a mistake. It's his regret. Why would you regret something you disagree in the first place? You said you don't even know here's a market. Despite it does have a market. That's my problem. It does have a market, right? You're saying it doesn't. He's just basically contradicting himself. He said, right, it's just what this is insane, you know. I just this part. This is exactly why I'm so mad about Satya. Right, he has no idea what the fucking talking about. You see, why would you regret something you don't need, right? You think the world doesn't need. You shouldn't regret it. If you believe so, you should say, it's my greatest, it's my greatest success, right? It's my success. I'm being super successful, right? Because you're saying I don't need it, then just you kill it. Okay, you kill it. Then you do this, right? You regret it. You know why he regret it? Because if we look at the market share, a browser market share, of market share, okay, we say go and see Edge on phones, on mobile. It's disaster. You can't even see them in the graph, you know. It's just insanely small. Okay, it's 0.11. Okay, 33. That's insanely small, you know. Do you know how small that is? Microsoft has this idea saying if we don't go forward, just release apps on Android, we're gonna magically make it work. Why? Why would you make it work? Which product of Microsoft made on Android is better than what Google does? Maybe Edge is a little bit better now because they have this extension, but it's in Canary. But Microsoft apps on Android are completely failure, right? It's even worse than Windows Phone, because if you think of, if we do have Windows Phone, if our Windows Phone we have 3% of user base, right? 3% of user base, if like in the desktop version, which I guess will be much more, we have 13% of users who using the Windows Phone, because despite it should be higher, like just 20%. If 20% of Windows Phone users are using Windows Edge, then you still have 0.6% of market share on Edge market share on phone, and you still get market share from Android. That would mean Microsoft Edge would gain 1% of market share, right? We just do a basic logic here, right? Just doing the math here. So by killing Windows Phone, they actually losing 0.7%, which is 3 times of the market share of Edge has, which is equals to a lot of Edge revenue. So that's just insane. Microsoft think they can magically make it work by releasing apps on Android. So people will start using Microsoft ecosystem on Android. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Also, the third option argument is also not an argument, because if that's true, why would we have this one on? Why do we have this not search engine? We have the operating system market share, right? OS market share. If that's true, why we have so many people are using Chrome OS? You said there's no market for that one. Why they're using Chromebook? Why they're using Chrome OS? I guess it would be much higher if we just continue on United States. Let's just see what's happening in United States. In United States, you have 6%. Okay, bro, you lost 6% of your market to the third one, which is in your argument. There's no place for that, right? Because we don't need a third argument in phone. Why would you use third argument? The third competition, third choice on desktop. He's just contradicting himself, right? The Chrome has 6% of users. Sure, it's not big enough, but it's big enough to make you Microsoft making wrong decisions. right? In fact, we see they have a very high share in 8%, right? It's dropping, but it's still eating your share, right? Your Microsoft, see how bad Windows 11 did. Windows dropped to only 53% last year. Is getting restored because probably be a lot of reasons, maybe fluctuation, whatever data points. But Windows is gradually dying, right? So if your argument doesn't make sense, if that's true, why would Chrome OS release something that eats you a lot of your market share? To the point that you release something like S mode. S mode, you know. It doesn't make sense. So see, if you give a full market, it's not just saying, I'm just giving a full market. You're also gradually losing your desktop market because they were using the ecosystem on phone to eat your market, eat your lunch in the desktop. What are you going to do? So instead, the argument is ridiculous, right? He's saying there's no third option, there's no need, but here we have the third place for Android, for Chrome OS. Right. Doesn't need a third. Here we have third. And it's behind what you're saying after 6 years. I don't know what Microsoft thinks. Satya Nedella, he's an Indian CEO with a very bad reputation, right? He's doing all the shit. He's just doing shit like, I'm going to making emission free. We're going to put in the electricity, whatever grid. We're going to run in the freaking AI. We're going to run in the fucking NVIDIA. No, don't use NVIDIA. The same cost. We're using AMD. You're not even buying NVIDIA chips. You're saying running AI. I guess it could be another metaverse failure. Microsoft is one just always start this fancy idea and just kill it off, right? That's insane, right? So Windows 11 is in big trouble, and the entire Xbox in trouble, Surface in trouble, the Windows in trouble. You tell me, and also I want to ask you, what makes the fundamental difference between a touch like Surface and a phone? It's still touch device. They need to work in the same on the whole same argument. The argument that works for a tablet also works on phone. It doesn't say same because you want to touch or something. If that's true, why you just give out the market? Why would you install Windows? For example, why you install Windows 10 on tablet? Why would people want to use that? Actually, some people have tried it. Running Windows 11 or running Windows on phone are extremely useful around Surface Duo. They tried it. It's extremely useful, and I think we underestimate the power of it. So Windows definitely has a place if they really try it. But we're probably not going to see that until Satya Nedella just get he himself just retired and someone else is going on. Because Satya is a really, really bad CEO. Right? Have you ever heard anything he talked about Windows or Surface recently? No. He also talking about Copilot. We have this Copilot GitHub. We have Copilot because I'm a shareholder of Microsoft. I listen to all the shit. They say, Copilot is Copilot that. Now they're... Gosh. I cannot believe that. Just Microsoft stock is performing so bad right now. Let's just try to see what the shit Microsoft did. Okay, let's just shit. The fucking PE ratio is 36, which is lower than QQQ, but it's still very high. But that's not the point. The point is that they still underperform. They underperform the market. Okay, they still underperform the market. Okay, Microsoft stock underperforms. That's the only important part we need to know is that it's stock. Let's see, everything he does is just how he does his AI, right? We just see the news. He's saying major AI partners. That Google is hitting back. Right? Google is hitting back because Google is pushing this Gemini thing with the App Store. How do you fight against Google in the mobile market? For even you want this AI shit, if you don't have your own platform, you cannot even use that as an advertisement platform for your AI thing. You just tell me, just this shit and that shit. I mean, if Microsoft just keep going through this Satya Nedella, it will die. Okay, it will finally die. Everything he is doing is just the product is in the worst shape of entire Microsoft history. Windows has never been such weak in the history of Windows. Surface has been complete failure. Xbox is a failure. Tell me any product that's just in success. You're talking about Office? If you just go Microsoft, let's just go Microsoft Store. See, do you think people are happy with Office? No, they don't, right? It's just giving a very low point. You just go Microsoft's own store, okay? App Store. You will want to know the truth. See, only 3.5 and people are very unhappy with it. A lot of people are just giving 1 point. If you go Microsoft Edge, this is so insane, in 2.4. Okay? You just go read reviews, okay? It's insane. The users are not happy with it. Just go and read comments. Right? This is not what I'm saying. I'm just go. You just go yourself. Right? All new news are basically negative. Right? It's just entirely negative thing. So when all the products of Microsoft are in worst shape in history, but people, oh gosh. I mean, if Microsoft just continue on their stock is underperforming in the last 2 months, I will sell that stock, completely sell it off. Okay, I will buy index fund. I will never buy Microsoft again. It's a failed company. It's a failed business. It's a complete shit. Okay. So that's all about the rant of the video. About the last thing, Windows 12. I haven't thought about it. I still think Windows 12 will succeed. Right, but even if it's just same quality, it'll still be better than Windows 11. Because Windows 11 is a total disaster. They cannot fix it. You cannot just tell me, oh, you may say it's just getting better. First, it's not an argument. Windows, when you have a major version release, you should be very polished, right? You cannot give me a testing product, let me be a RAS, right? A lab RAS, right? In the RAS in the lab. That doesn't make sense, right? You should give a polished version of Windows before everyone can jump in the ship. Right? Windows 11 is clearly not in that shape, and it will never be. So I do think Microsoft will release Windows 12 next year. Despite a lot of people saying they have the maintenance issue, whatever. Fuck that. If they do truly think so, they won't release Windows 11 in the first place, right? Windows 10 is the last version. Was the last version of Windows? They said the last version of Windows. If that's true, why would they have Windows 11? Just create problems for them. It doesn't make sense, right? So they will have Windows 12. And I hope if they really want to experience it better, instead of just screwing desktop users, they should adding these two modes to have separate profiles, to making the touch users using S mode. Then I could just switch it on when I log in my account, right? Instead of putting S mode Windows. That's insane. That's bad. That's a terrible choice for doing marketing. That's a very bad idea. If you compete with Google, compete with Chrome OS, you should just give in a flag at login. Let people to take it out, right? Letting people to use it and to all switch to between S and P. For example, you can get Home Edition version to use that default S mode, Professional to use P mode, right? If I want to just viewing pages, want to go in this Microsoft Edge browser, I just be using Edge. I want some security, I want performance. I can just using S mode when I log in, right? They can also remove a lot of bloat and making Windows Store much better than current shit is, right? This would be a much better choice, and I hope they could implement it on Windows 12. Okay, giving a SP mode flag is probably they should do right now. Because you cannot just keep screwing desktop version by trying to make it more touch friendly. It's never going to work. It failed in Windows 8. It failed in Windows 10. Windows 10 is actually better, but it failed in Windows 11. Have Microsoft learned any lesson here? I mean, if you want to we want to make security, I think a lot of people want, but it can be done by just getting a profile like I do. Here I have this SP flag here at login. That'd be a much better choice, right? I think people will need to switch P and S, even people who are power users. I'm going to make a video, whatever, just screening, doing the internet surfing, just surfing the internet, or listening to some football music, whatever. Then just switch on S mode, right? If I'm just want doing other stuff, I switch on P mode, right? And they don't conflict with each other. And if someone is using a local account, you can only enter P mode, right? Because local account, you don't have Microsoft store, right? You cannot actually using a store thing, right? What if you buy some apps? Who is going to pay for it? That's a big problem. So if someone just think I have one local account, then just is forced on P mode, right? That's just not annoying those people to want a local account. Those are very good ideas, but Microsoft is at this point with Satya Nedella, he's going to kill every good ideas. Also, the Surface Duo. That's just the fucking Surface Duo. Shit. How could they make that shit? They said, Windows, we don't want to install Windows today because Windows, we kind of want Windows, okay? Then they give you this shit. They install Android and it doesn't kill it. Okay, a Windows phone error, they can say, it's not because the ecosystem, because I decided I disagree. I think the reason is that it's just too locked down. And to the point that you cannot run a GCC to compile the code. But here, you still fail with Android. You cannot just tell me, it's because of ecosystem, right? You were wrong, right? If you just running Windows, I can guarantee a lot of people will buy it if it was running Windows 11, a Windows Duo, Surface Duo. If they tried it, I can guarantee a lot of Microsoft fans would try it. I would try it too. But they clear fucked up running Android. Why would I use it compared to my? I have this phone from Walmart, $40. $40 Walmart is TCL X3, X30L, X30, whatever, A40, whatever. $30. It can just running Microsoft Edge. It can running a lot of things. It's just running better with $40. Running much better than your Surface Duo. Why would I buy you one Android? Unless you're providing Windows, why would I buy yours? It's insane. I don't even understand why someone would have this idea of Surface Duo. And I don't like the dual screen either, okay? That's another bullshit they did. But in general, if you're running an Android and Microsoft, it's just not going to work. Microsoft, you cannot just actually survive on a Google-based platform. Maybe the Edge browser, despite a lot of it disagree too, maybe the Edge browser is working, but it's not a universal strategy, right? You have to do that case on case. You cannot just say, I'm just shoving everything on Android, it's going to work. It's insane. I don't understand why Microsoft has this idea. Okay, so I do believe Windows 12 will be more polished and more acceptable, and it will come us next year because the market doesn't like it, the Wall Street doesn't like it. No matter what they try here, it's not going to fix it, right? It's just going to make things worse if they keep maintaining Windows 11. And then Windows 11 24 H2 is another disaster. Right, you just walk in this video. It's just someone saying Windows 11 is worse than Windows 8. Well, it's actually always worse than Windows 8. I've said that, but H2 is worse than Windows 8. So even the new patch doesn't actually fix anything. Okay, they have some quality of change improvement, just like Windows 8 brings back start menu, so it became pop-up screen. It's the same shit, right? The same idea, just some tricks doesn't fix your underlying problem unless you have a new version of Windows 12 that is fixing things under the hood. You want to push in the S mode, okay? Just giving a flag on S mode. Right, it's also making the developers like either they can start testing apps by apps on the S mode instead of just saying, hey, I have to buy one, just cannot log it, just go in Microsoft Store and shit. That's not going to work. Just giving an SP mode flag and giving S mode just being more touch friendly, like Android and iOS does, just making that kind of icon. Just you can emulate what Android iOS does. You can making that UI be very similar. You don't actually need to be the desktop version like Windows does. You can do a lot of different things. But on P mode, you just continue doing what a desktop would do. Of course, we are basing the idea we don't deal with screwing up touch. It should still be somewhat touch friendly, but not as dedicated as we do right now. Right? I think that will be create a much better user experience. Okay. That's it. All about the video. Right. That's all about the video. Yeah. Thank you for watching this one.